Hey everyone, today we are going to be painting this pretty and fun dandelion picture. It's the perfect spring moving into summertime project. All you need is a pencil, a pen, and watercolor paints. And it might help to have something circular to trace for about the size that you want your dandelions to be. So I'm just using the bottom of a paint bottle. So we can go ahead and get started. So we're actually starting with the paint bottle to create circles. So we are just going to use our pencil to create the circles that will form the shape of the dandelion, which we will afterwards erase. But it will serve as a guide for us today. Start with the one on the left, and it is the second highest, so I'll just kind of start it like not all the way at the top, but a little higher than the middle. And I'll just trace this, create a light circle with my pencil. And then for the middle one, it is the highest, so I'm gonna move in my bottle up here, and I will trace this. And then for the third one, it is actually the shortest, but just a little bit shorter than this one, so a little bit lower. So there we go. That'll just kind of help guide us with drawing these just to keep the circular shape of them. So now I am just going to kind of eyeball the center point of each of these and draw a circle, a tiny circle in the middle. Alright, and the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and draw my line that will, or rather two lines together that will form our stems. So we can just go ahead and get those done, and we start from this little center circle and just bring that all the way down. I like to have a slight curve in it because, as you can see in the finished product, we have all the little pieces blowing away in the wind, so it's kind of like it's being blown in the wind. It's not standing perfectly straight up. So kind of just maybe have them curve in slightly different directions just to give some variation. Alright, and one more to go. And now we are going to go ahead and do our radiating petals that are on the inside. Not really sure the right name for them. They're not really quite petals, but the parts of the flower. So for this, it's pretty easy. We can just draw a line that touches the edge of your circle and then bring it all the way through. So that way it kind of gives us just this like organized radiation of them, or radiating look. So they're all just kind of coming from the same center point and aligning with each other on the other side. Just some nice symmetry, visually appealing for our final product. And then we'll just cut those in half. It's like we're cutting our pie. And there we go. And we we can sneak some little ones in there too, some shorter ones. So cut those in half even more. Maybe not on every single one of them. I just don't want it to look too crowded, but a few little short ones in there. So hope you can see that okay. I can make it a little darker just so you can see what I did here. But if you, as the participant at home, do not want to draw your lines this dark, that's okay too, because we are going to be going over everything in pencil. We'll be going over it in pen. So now we're doing the same exact thing on the other two dandelions. Cutting those pie pieces in half. Lines radiating from the center. Super simple. And our shorter ones. Some length variation. And just one more to do. Okay, and our shorter ones. And our short ones. And there we have it. We have our sketch done. And, well, for the main one. So now I'm going to go ahead and sketch in all the little background pieces that are blowing away, and hopefully someone is making a wish as they blow away. Don't want any blown away dandelions to go to waste. Gotta make a wish on it. So these are just kind of lines, little lines in the background, kind of different directions. Some are sideways, some are kind of standing up, some are diagonal, just as if they're just have a mind of their own, blowing in the wind. So, and there's that, and then I'm gonna add my cute little Make-A-Wish writing in here. You can use whatever type of font you feel comfortable doing. Mine's kind of a cursive, a little bit of a mix between cursive and print. It's nothing really fancy, just my kind of my regular handwriting. Make a wish. So I am not going to use my pencil to do all the little details at the ends of the dandelions, but if you feel comfortable doing that in pencil first, you can. I'm actually just going to go straight into tracing this with my pen. But keep in mind, we are not tracing the circles that we traced with the pencil, because those are just our guide. So don't trace that with the pen. As you can see with this, we will erase them. So I'm going to start with a little circle, and then we have my stem. And next we will be tracing over our radiating lines, which form our little dandelion petals. And now we are going to do the little tips at the end of each petal. They're basically just a U shape and two little antennae inside the U. So we have our U shape and then two antennae, and that's pretty much it on all of them. And if you want to get fancy with it, you can put little dots at the end of each one. So it's just pretty much that shape over and over again. U and antenna. now we are going to do the same shape on all of the little flyaway pieces in the background. Just your U and your antenna. So there we have it. Everything is outlined in our black pen, and now I will take an eraser, which you can use the eraser from your pencil, or if you have a bigger eraser on hand, that definitely helps. And we're just erasing all of the pencil off. Alright, so now we are moving on to the fun part. We are going to paint. I just have a really simple set of watercolor. I actually have two, just because this one doesn't have a yellow. So it doesn't need to be anything fancy. These are super cheap watercolor sets. I think this one comes in one of our Art to Go bags, so if you have that handy, just grab it now. And just a paintbrush. I'm using a watercolor paintbrush, which you can fill with water, which is pretty cool, just so you just don't have to keep dipping your brush into your cup, but it is not necessary. You will need to have a good amount of water though, just because we will be using the watercolor technique wet on wet, which means we're just going to wet the paper a little bit before you're putting the paint on, just to make it kind of give this tie-dye blended rainbow look. So I'm just starting, I'll start over here in this corner, and as I'm you can see the water's has a little tint to it, which is honestly helpful because then you can see where the water goes. So if you want to have your water have a slight tint of color, it can help. Maybe just a tint of the color that you intend on using. And I'm going to not put the water directly up against my little petals. I like the look of them having the white space around them. But if you want to just paint over everything, you can. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab some pink is what I used in the spot. And you can see it kind of likes to blend out on its own. So the water on the paper does the work for you. it will just kind of naturally spread out, kind of give it that the soft edges around our petals, and I will further soften them by just going in with my brush with less paint on it in just a moment. So take a little paint off my brush and I'll just go back in and blend out these lines even more. So it's just a soft edge. Just with some water. And I like how it kind of pulls up in one area and is a little darker. I like how each one has a little bit of dark and light, and it's not all just like uniform color. So we will carry on with our next section, which I used blue for. So just going in with the blue, giving a little space around all of our flowers and drawing stuff. And carrying on. This might have actually been purple, but so let's see. I think it actually was purple. It's kind of a purplish blue in my palette, like an indigo. You can use whatever color you want though. And we're just spreading it around again. And I'll kind of bring it down and blend it in with the pink a little to give it a gradual transition between colors. Right, and on to our next section, just kind of bringing it down here. Which I will use yellow and kind of transition into green down here. I'm just going to go and do this whole space. Just go ahead, prep that with my water. starting up over here at the top. Oops. Just get the paper a little wet. And I'll go in with my kind of a yellow orange, a really bright orange. Here on this part, I'm going to go in with my blue. The blue is very pigmented. I'm just kind of spread that around. Okay, and our last little space over here, and it's going to be a red orange, or just kind of just a darker orange pretty much on this last little section. And there we have it. That is our beautiful dandelion springtime blowing on into summertime artwork for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this and follow along with future tutorials. Have a great day.